Secretary Arvin Luistro, Secretary Dicky Soliman, Secretary Tati Licuanan, Commissioner Rufino Biason, Governor Saite Tanco, Chief Justice Davide, Senator Jun Magsaysay, Dr. Maria Cynthia Rose Bautista, the 2012 Ramon Magsaysay awardees, namely Ms. Chen Shuju, Dr. Romulo Davide, Mr. Kulande Francis, Ms. Sheda Rizwana Hassan, Mr. Yang Sang Koma, Mr. Ambrosius Ruin Driarto. Board of Trustees of the Ramon Magsaysay Award Foundation, namely Mr. Juan Santos, Mr. Rubina Gokongweipe, former Ambassador Del Albert, Father Jet Villarin, Ms. Marian Quebral, Ms. Carmencita Abella, past Ramon Magsaysay awardees, Attorney Lenny Robredo, the children of Secretary and Attorney Lenny Robredo, fellow workers in government, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Standing here before you today, I cannot help but remember Ramon Magsaysay awardee that I worked very closely with, a good friend and a member of the cabinet who received the same award in 2000 for his work as mayor of Naga City, the late Jesse M. Robredo. Jesse, as do all recipients of these awards, stood as a bearer of Ramon Magsaysay's legacy. The late president was known for his straightforward, uncomplicated, but effective leadership. He was honest. He never got caught up in the trappings of power, and yet he was comfortable exercising that power to get things done. His work as Secretary of Defense allowed the Philippines to quell a brewing communist uprising, and this work continued well into his presidency when he appointed my father, Ninoy Aquino, as emissary to the Hukbal House. When he was president, he shunned the perks of power and opened the doors of Malacanang to any Filipino who wanted their voice heard. Whenever I hear these stories about President Ramon Magsaysay, I cannot help but remember Jesse. Like Magsaysay, Jesse was unassuming, unpretentious, and very effective. He kept himself grounded. When he was mayor, he joined in garbage collections, I'm told, at least once a month, and was the first man out after a storm, shoveling mud from the streets in his trusty chinelas. And as Secretary of the Interior and Local Government, he made sure to come home to Naga every weekend, where he could go back to being a simple husband and father. But these occasional breaks did not stop him from fulfilling his duty and improving local government. In his time in the DILG, he instituted a full disclosure policy and positively reinforced the good performance of the LGUs that did well by awarding them seals of good housekeeping. In the same vein, each of you here is being awarded because you too have met the standards of Ramon Magsaysay, as laid out in the credo he lived by. This was not merely his agenda of governance, it was his life philosophy. It was his own daang matuwid or straight path of integrity. And may I quote, I believe that the little man is fundamentally entitled to a little bit more food in his stomach, a little more cloth in his back, and a little more roof over his head, close quote, said President Magsaysay. We see the same belief in the work of Chen Shuju, who as a vegetable vendor earns much less than those with loftier titles or fancier offices. And yet she has given much of what she has to those who need more over the years. She has, I'm told, donated more than $320,000, reminding us all that the fullness of our hearts is a greater measure of our humanity than the size of our bank accounts. We see the same spirit in Ambrosius Ruindriarto's efforts to uproot illegal loggers and to protect the environment. Despite the dangers to his life, he persevered, believing that the fundamental right to live a dignified life extends to future generations who will surely be affected by damages wrought by a rampant and irresponsible harnessing of today's natural resources. President Magsaysay's credo also says, and again I quote, I believe that government starts at the bottom and moves upward, for government exists for the welfare of the masses of the nation. Close quote. And so too have young Sai Coma and Romulo Davide brought this belief to life Through their hard work in the fields of agriculture and science, they have enabled thousands of farmers to achieve better harvests in their own fields. We also see this in Kulanday Francis, who has provided the poor the means to help themselves. In particular, his efforts have empowered the women of India, thus proving that if we provide the keys of opportunity to those with less in life, they themselves will turn the lock, open the door, and step through to a life of dignity. President Magsaysay most famously said that those who have less in life should have more in law. Sheikha Rizwana Hassan has lived by this philosophy, standing as a champion of the environment in Bangladesh with her small band of lawyers. Ms. Rizwana was not cowed by rich and powerful corporations. Despite the strength and influence of their opponents, her team stayed true to their dream, the revival of hope in Bangladesh's judicial system, in reminding their people that, and we quote, the law and lawyers do not only exist for the mightiest, close quote. This is the power of selflessness. I believe that each and every person who hears your stories will find reason to be more hopeful about the prospects of all humankind. As President of this country, let me tell you, we admire your work, and I am hopeful that you continue helping improve the world that we collectively live in. As my people have assured me, so do I assure you. You are not alone. We are all allies in striving to live up to the example set by President Ramon Magsaysay. With his big heart, his honest mind, his sound instincts, his virtue of healthy impatience, and his abiding love for the common man. Almost 2 weeks ago, our nation suffered a great loss when Secretary Jesse Robredo passed away. We continue to mourn the loss of a true servant leader, but I am glad we have ceremonies like this to remind us that there are still excellent, like-minded people continuing work such as his, be it here in the Philippines or in other countries. And truly, that is the greatest tribute we can make to the memory of a great man, the late President Ramon Magsaysay, and all past winners of this award, getting back to work and fulfilling in our own small ways their grand vision for the world. Thank you and good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you with pride and joy the 2012 Ramon Magsaysay awardees. Chan Shuju, Romulo Davide, Kulanday Francis, Sheikha Rizwana Hassan, Yang Song Kuma, Ambrosius Ruidliarto, may we request the President to join the awardees for a photo opportunity. Thank you. The 2012 presentation ceremonies are now concluded. Thank you for your presence. May we request everyone to rise for the exit of the colors. may we request everyone to remain standing until after the recessional. You may greet the 2012 Magsaysay awardees at the lobby. Thank you and good evening.